We all carry around invisible chains, don't we? Regrets that linger, mistakes that haunt, memories that refuse to fade away. It's like a shadow that follows you everywhere, a constant reminder of what you could have done differently, who you could have been, or what you've lost along the way. But here's the paradox. The past only exists in your mind, yet it has the power to shape your present, to weigh you down, and to hold you back from the life that's right in front of you. What if I told you that the key to letting go isn't found in rewriting the past, but in how you choose to live right now? Today, we're diving into timeless wisdom that's helped countless people break free from the grip of their past and move forward with strength, clarity, and peace. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll learn how to release what's been holding you back and step into a new chapter of your life. If you're ready to let go of the past and embrace the present, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the powerful insights ahead. Accept what you cannot change. One of the hardest yet most liberating truths to embrace is that the past is unchangeable, a fixed chapter in the story of your life that cannot be rewritten. We often find ourselves trapped in a mental loop, replaying scenarios, wishing we had done things differently, or obsessing over what might have been. It's a futile battle, fighting against time with thoughts that lead nowhere but deeper into regret and self-blame. We cling to our past mistakes, replaying them in our minds as if revisiting them enough times could somehow alter the outcome. But this endless revisiting only deepens the emotional scars and keeps us anchored in a place that no longer exists. The first step in letting go of the past is accepting this simple yet profound truth. What's done is done. No amount of wishing, blaming, or reliving can change the events that have already unfolded. Acceptance isn't about dismissing the pain or pretending it didn't happen. It's about acknowledging the reality of the situation without trying to resist it. Acceptance is an act of courage. It requires you to confront your past head-on, to look at your experiences without sugarcoating or distortion, and to recognize that, despite your best efforts, you cannot alter what has already transpired. This doesn't mean you condone what happened or that the pain instantly disappears. Rather, acceptance is about releasing the tight grip of resistance that keeps you stuck in a never-ending loop of what-ifs and if-onlys. It's about understanding that while you can't change the past, you have full control over how you respond to it in the present moment. Each time you catch yourself dwelling on a past mistake or replaying a painful memory, gently remind yourself, I cannot change what has happened, but I can choose how it affects me now. This mental shift is a powerful tool in reclaiming your peace and moving forward. Imagine your mind as a garden where the seeds of your thoughts take root and grow. When you focus on regrets, resentments, or past hurts, you're watering the weeds, allowing them to spread and overshadow the growth of new, healthy thoughts. Acceptance is like pulling those weeds out by the root. It's clearing the mental clutter that prevents you from seeing the beauty of the present. It's about making space for new experiences, new growth, and new perspectives. By accepting what you cannot change, you stop wasting energy on a fight you can't win, and start redirecting that energy toward things you can influence: your actions, your mindset, and your future. One practical way to practice acceptance is through journaling. Write down the events of your past that you're struggling to let go of. Acknowledge your feelings honestly: anger, sadness, guilt, whatever comes up. Then, write a statement of acceptance. I accept that this happened. I accept that I cannot change it. I choose to move forward. This exercise isn't about erasing your history, but about reframing it in a way that empowers you rather than holds you captive. It's a reminder that while you may not control your past, you are not powerless. You control how you interpret it, how you respond to it, and how you let it shape your present and future. Ultimately, acceptance is the foundation upon which healing and growth are built. It's not about letting go overnight or pretending the past didn't hurt. It's about gradually loosening your grip on what you cannot change and embracing the power you have in the present. By accepting your past, you free yourself from its hold, allowing you to move forward with greater clarity, peace, and strength. It's the first crucial step toward living a life that's not defined by what has been, but by what you choose to create from this moment onward. 2. Reframe your past as lessons, not failures. One of the most powerful ways to let go of the past is to change how you perceive it. Instead of viewing past mistakes, misfortunes, or missed opportunities as failures, see them as valuable lessons that have shaped who you are today. Every experience, whether painful or joyful, carries with it a lesson, a nugget of wisdom that can guide you forward if you're willing to see it that way. It's easy to fall into the trap of labeling our past experiences with harsh judgments. I failed, I was wrong, or I wasted my time. But this kind of thinking only deepens the wound and keeps you stuck in a cycle of regret. By reframing your past as a series of lessons rather than failures, you empower yourself to extract meaning and growth from every situation, no matter how challenging it was. This shift in perspective doesn't change what happened, but it changes how you carry it with you, turning burdens into insights that propel you forward. Reframing is not about ignoring the pain or sugarcoating the reality of what occurred. It's about choosing to see each experience as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this? How did this experience shape me into who I am today? What strength did I discover within myself that I didn't know I had? These questions help you to mine the past for its wisdom, to find the silver lining in even the darkest moments. For example, a failed relationship might have taught you the importance of setting boundaries, or a missed job opportunity might have led you to a career path that aligns more closely with your true passions. When you reframe your past in this way, you start to see your life not as a series of missteps, but as a dynamic journey of learning, growth, and self-discovery. One practical approach to reframing is to rewrite your story from a place of strength. Take a moment to reflect on a past event that you've struggled to move on from. Write down what happened, and then, next to it, write what you learned from that experience. Be specific. Did it teach you resilience, patience, empathy, or perhaps the value of standing up for yourself? This exercise allows you to reinterpret the narrative of your past, highlighting the positive lessons that emerged from difficult times. By doing this, you're not denying the pain, but you're also not letting it define you. Instead, you're reclaiming your power to turn those experiences into something meaningful. Reframing your past also involves forgiving yourself for the mistakes you made when you didn't know better. Self-forgiveness is a crucial part of the healing process, allowing you to release the heavy burden of guilt and move forward with a lighter heart. Remind yourself that you were doing the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Just as you would show compassion to a friend who has stumbled, extend that same kindness to yourself. Mistakes are part of being human, and each one offers a chance to grow and improve. By forgiving yourself, you let go of the narrative of failure and open the door to self-acceptance and renewed purpose. Ultimately, reframing the past as lessons rather than failures is about shifting your mindset from one of self-blame to one of self-growth. It's a powerful way to take control of your story, to find meaning in the messiness of life, and to use your past as a source of strength rather than a source of shame. When you embrace the lessons that your experiences have taught you, you transform the weight of the past into a foundation for a more resilient, empowered, and forward-focused future. Forgive yourself and others to release resentment. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as condoning or forgetting the wrongs done to us, but in reality, it's a powerful tool for reclaiming your peace and moving forward. Holding on to resentment, whether it's towards others or yourself, acts like a heavy anchor, keeping you tethered to past hurts and preventing you from fully embracing the present. We often cling to grievances, replaying scenarios where we felt wronged or where we wronged others, believing that by holding on to the anger, we're somehow protecting ourselves from future pain. But resentment is a poison that harms the vessel it's stored in far more than anyone else. It clouds your judgment, saps your energy, and keeps you locked in a cycle of bitterness. To truly let go of the past, you must learn to forgive, not because the other person necessarily deserves it, but because you deserve the freedom that comes with releasing the burden of resentment. Forgiving others is not about excusing their behavior or pretending that what happened didn't hurt. It's about acknowledging the pain and choosing to no longer let it control your emotions and actions. It's a deliberate decision to let go of the bitterness and reclaim your power. When you hold on to anger, you give the person who hurt you a continued influence over your life, even if they are no longer physically present. Forgiveness severs that lingering tie, allowing you to move on without the weight of past transgressions holding you back. It's not about letting anyone off the hook, It's about setting yourself free. This act of release does not happen overnight. It's a process that may need to be revisited multiple times, especially when the wounds are deep. But each step you take towards forgiveness lightens your emotional load and brings you closer to peace. Equally important is the act of self-forgiveness. We are often our harshest critics, replaying past mistakes with a level of scrutiny we wouldn't impose on anyone else. Self-blame and guilt can be some of the most stubborn forms of resentment, creating an inner dialogue that constantly undermines your sense of worth. To forgive yourself is to recognize that you are human, inherently flawed, and capable of making mistakes. It's understanding that your missteps are part of the journey, not a permanent stain on your character. Self-forgiveness involves taking responsibility for your actions, learning from them, and then letting go of the need to punish yourself indefinitely. This doesn't mean ignoring the consequences of your actions or bypassing accountability. It means allowing yourself the grace to grow from your experiences rather than being defined by them. One practical approach to practicing forgiveness is to write a letter, either to yourself or to the person you're struggling to forgive. Pour out your feelings honestly, without holding back. Then, at the end of the letter, write, "I forgive you." You don't have to send this letter. The act of writing it is for you. It's a symbolic release, an acknowledgement that you are choosing to let go of the hurt. Revisit this exercise as often as needed, reminding yourself that forgiveness is a journey, not a one-time event. Ultimately, forgiveness is about reclaiming your emotional freedom. It's about refusing to let the actions of the past dictate your present happiness. By forgiving yourself and others, you create space for healing, for joy, and for new beginnings. You release the grip of old wounds, allowing them to fade into the background of your life rather than dominate your every thought. Forgiveness doesn't change the past, but it transforms your relationship with it, turning pain into wisdom and resentment into peace. It's one of the most powerful steps you can take towards letting go and moving forward with an open heart and a clear mind. Stop revisiting old stories and create new narratives. One of the biggest obstacles to letting go of the past is our tendency to keep revisiting old stories. These stories, crafted from our memories, interpretations, and emotions, become deeply ingrained narratives that shape how we see ourselves and the world around us. We replay these stories like a favorite movie, even when they bring us pain, disappointment, or regret. Each time we revisit these old tales of loss, failure, or betrayal, we reinforce their power over us, trapping ourselves in a loop of negative thinking. Whether it's a story of a relationship that went wrong, a career path that didn't work out, or a decision that led to unforeseen consequences, these narratives can feel like a prison that keeps us stuck in the past. To move forward, you must learn to stop revisiting these old stories and start creating new narratives that reflect the person you are today and the future you want to build. The first step in breaking free from old stories is recognizing when you're stuck in one. Pay attention to the moments when your mind drifts back to familiar scenes from your past. The "I should have done this," "if only I had," or "why didn't I see it coming?" thoughts that play on repeat. These mental reruns serve no constructive purpose. They only deepen your attachment to what can no longer be changed. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, challenge yourself to shift the narrative. Ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can this experience guide me in making better choices now?" This shift in focus moves you from being a passive victim of your past to an active creator of your present and future. You take control of the narrative, rewriting it in a way that empowers rather than diminishes you. Another powerful technique is to consciously create new stories that align with your current values and goals. Start by envisioning the life you want to live and the person you want to become. What kind of story would that person tell about their past? How would they view their challenges, not as defining moments of failure, but as pivotal lessons that help them grow? Write down this new story, emphasizing the strengths you gained, the wisdom you acquired, and the resilience you developed. By doing this, you reframe your past experiences as chapters in a larger, evolving narrative that leads to growth and self-discovery. You are no longer defined by what happened to you, but by how you have chosen to rise above it. It's also important to surround yourself with new influences that reinforce your updated narrative. Seek out books, podcasts, and people who inspire you, who reflect the mindset you want to cultivate. The more you immerse yourself in positive, forward-focused content, the easier it becomes to shift away from the old stories that no longer serve you. This doesn't mean ignoring your past. It means not letting it be the dominant voice in your life. By focusing on what you are building now, you gradually drown out the noise of outdated narratives that keep pulling you back. Ultimately, letting go of old stories is about reclaiming your narrative power. You get to decide what story you carry forward. Not the unchangeable details of what happened, but the meaning you assign to it. This act of conscious storytelling liberates you from the mental traps of regret and opens up a path toward a future defined by possibility, not limitation. By choosing to create new narratives, you affirm that you are not your past. You are the author of your own life, capable of rewriting your story at any moment. Let the old stories fade and start living the one you truly want to tell. Embrace change and focus on what you can control. Change is an inevitable part of life, yet it's one of the things we struggle with the most, especially when it feels forced upon us by the past. We hold on tightly to how things were, to the comfort of what we once knew, even when those things no longer serve us. This resistance to change keeps us anchored in old patterns, reliving the past instead of embracing the present and the opportunities it brings. To truly let go of the past and move forward, it's essential to shift your mindset from fearing change to embracing it as a constant, natural force that shapes our lives. Change is not the enemy. It's a gateway to growth, new experiences, and ultimately to becoming the person you are meant to be. By focusing on what you can control, your actions, your mindset, and your responses, you empower yourself to navigate change with resilience and grace rather than fear and resistance. One of the reasons change feels so daunting is because it often reminds us of what we've lost or left behind. Whether it's the end of a relationship, a career shift, or a sudden unexpected life event, change disrupts our sense of normalcy and forces us to confront the unknown. This can stir up a range of emotions, grief, anxiety, uncertainty, that make it tempting to cling to the past, even if doing so keeps us stuck. But here's the truth. Clinging to what was doesn't stop change. It only makes the transition harder. The key is to redirect your focus away from what you can't control, the past, other people's actions, unforeseen circumstances, and toward what you can control, your present choices and your attitude. It's in these moments of surrendering to change that you find your true power. A practical approach to embracing change is to cultivate a mindset of adaptability. Instead of viewing change as a threat, see it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and redefine yourself. Ask yourself, how can I use this change to my advantage? What new skills, perspectives, or opportunities can this bring into my life? When you shift your perspective in this way, you move from a place of resistance to one of curiosity and possibility. This doesn't mean the process will always be easy. Change often comes with challenges and discomfort. But by focusing on what you can control, you build resilience. You learn to pivot, to adjust, and to make the most of your current reality, rather than lamenting the loss of what once was. One effective technique is to set small, achievable goals that help you navigate the change. These goals give you a sense of control and forward momentum, no matter how small. It could be something as simple as creating a new daily routine, learning a new skill, or even just taking time each day to practice mindfulness and center yourself. These actions, however small, anchor you in the present and remind you that while you can't control everything, you can always control your next step. This approach not only helps you manage the anxiety that comes with change, but also empowers you to shape your own path forward. Ultimately, embracing change is about letting go of the illusion of permanence and accepting that life is a series of transitions. It's about trusting yourself to handle whatever comes your way, knowing that you have the strength, creativity, and adaptability to find your way through. By focusing on what you can control, you shift from feeling like a victim of circumstances to being an active participant in your own life. You stop fighting the current and start flowing with it, allowing change to be a catalyst for your growth rather than a barrier. Embrace the uncertainty, take charge of what you can, and watch as your world begins to transform in ways you never thought possible. Cultivate presence and let go of what's beyond your control. We often find ourselves lost in the past or worried about the future, caught in a mental tug-of-war between what was and what might be. This constant oscillation keeps us from fully experiencing the only moment we truly have, right now. The past is beyond our reach and the future is not yet written, but we spend so much of our energy trying to change what's already happened or control what's yet to come. This perpetual state of distraction pulls us away from the present, making it impossible to let go and move forward. Cultivating presence is about grounding yourself in the here and now, focusing on what you can do today, and releasing the need to control everything outside your influence. It's a powerful shift that not only helps you let go of the past, but also reduces anxiety about the future, allowing you to live more fully and authentically. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or failing to plan for the future. It means not letting them dominate your thoughts and emotions. It's about recognizing that your power lies in your current actions, decisions, and mindset. When you dwell on past mistakes or future uncertainties, you're essentially relinquishing your control over the present moment, allowing those thoughts to dictate your behavior and outlook. To cultivate presence, start by paying attention to your thoughts. Notice when your mind drifts back to old memories or leaps forward into hypothetical scenarios. When this happens, gently guide your focus back to what's happening now, your surroundings, your breath, your current task. This simple act of mindfulness helps you break free from the mental loop of past regrets and future worries, anchoring you in the only place where you can truly make a difference: the present. One practical way to cultivate presence is through mindfulness techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or grounding exercises. These practices train your mind to stay centered, even in the face of distractions. For example, when you find yourself ruminating on a past mistake, take a moment to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and bring your attention back to the present. Notice the sensations in your body, the sounds around you, and the rhythm of your breath. This practice isn't about escaping your thoughts, it's about creating a pause, a moment of clarity where you can choose how to respond rather than reacting out of habit. By regularly practicing mindfulness, you build the mental muscle to remain present, reducing the power of past and future stressors over your life. Another important aspect of cultivating presence is learning to let go of what's beyond your control. We often waste precious energy trying to manage things that are simply out of our hands: other people's actions, past events, and unpredictable future outcomes. This need for control breeds anxiety and keeps us entangled in a web of frustration. The key is to focus on what you can influence: your attitude, your actions, and your choices. When you let go of the need to control everything, you free yourself from the constant tension of trying to micromanage life's uncertainties. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting those uncontrollable factors dictate your inner peace. Ultimately, cultivating presence is about embracing the power of now. It's about engaging with life as it unfolds, rather than living in a perpetual state of what was or what if. By focusing on the present moment, you create a more centered, balanced, and fulfilling experience. You learn to let go of the past, release the anxieties of the future, and find peace in the here and now. This mindset not only helps you move forward, but also enriches your daily life, making each moment a little more vibrant and meaningful. Let go, breathe deeply, and embrace the present. It's the only place where life truly happens. Take action and stop waiting for the perfect time. One of the biggest barriers to moving forward from the past is the illusion of the perfect time. That elusive moment when everything will align, when you'll feel ready, when the fear will disappear, and when taking that first step will feel effortless. We convince ourselves that if we just wait a little longer, if we gather more information, if circumstances change, then we'll finally have the confidence to act. But this waiting game is a trap that keeps you stuck, immobilized by indecision and the false comfort of procrastination. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. The perfect time is a myth, a convenient excuse that masks our deeper fears of failure, judgment, and the unknown. To truly let go of the past and move forward, you must learn to take action now, even when it feels uncomfortable, imperfect, or uncertain. Action is the antidote to stagnation, and it's through action that you reclaim your power to shape your future. Waiting for the perfect time often stems from a fear of repeating past mistakes. You tell yourself, "I'll start when I'm more prepared," or "I'll try again when I feel more confident." But these thoughts are rooted in the idea that there's a magical moment when you'll be immune to failure. The reality is, growth and progress are inherently messy, filled with trial and error, and there's no amount of preparation that can guarantee success. What matters more than perfect timing is your willingness to start, to take that first step, and to keep moving forward despite the inevitable bumps along the way. Every moment spent waiting for the perfect time is a moment lost. A moment that could have been used to learn, to grow, and to inch closer to your goals. By taking action, you break the cycle of overthinking and start building momentum that propels you forward. Taking action doesn't have to be monumental. It can start with small, manageable steps that gradually build your confidence. The key is to create a habit of doing, rather than overanalyzing. If you've been wanting to start a new project, don't wait for the perfect idea. Begin with brainstorming. If you've been meaning to have a difficult conversation, don't wait until you feel completely prepared. Start by jotting down your thoughts. Each small action moves you out of your head and into reality where real progress happens. And with each step you learn, adapt, and build the resilience needed to tackle the next challenge. Action is not just about achieving. It's about engaging with life, taking control of your narrative, and proving to yourself that you are capable of more than your fears suggest. It's also important to remember that action creates clarity. You may not have all the answers when you start, but by moving forward, you begin to see the path more clearly. The act of doing provides feedback that thinking alone cannot offer. You learn what works, what doesn't, and what needs to be adjusted. This is a dynamic process that can't happen in the realm of planning and waiting. It requires you to step into the arena and participate. Even if your initial actions don't lead to immediate success, they provide valuable insights and lessons that refine your approach and bring you closer to your goals. Ultimately, letting go of the past and moving forward is an active process. It requires you to stop waiting and start creating. The perfect time will never come, but every moment holds the potential to be the right moment if you choose to act. Don't let fear or the comfort of procrastination keep you on the sidelines of your own life. Embrace the messiness of action. Take imperfect steps, and trust that each effort brings you closer to the person you want to be and the life you want to live. It's through action that you build the future you've been waiting for, one step at a time. 8. Let go of perfectionism and embrace progress. Perfectionism can be a hidden barrier that keeps you chained to the past, constantly striving to fix, perfect, and control every aspect of your life. It's the relentless pursuit of flawlessness, driven by the fear of making mistakes or falling short of unrealistic standards. While aiming for excellence can be motivating, perfectionism often leads to paralysis. You become so fixated on getting everything just right that you end up doing nothing at all. Every imperfection, every misstep feels like a personal failure, reinforcing the belief that you're not enough. But here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion, a moving target that keeps shifting further out of reach the closer you get to it. To move forward, you must let go of the need to be perfect and embrace progress instead. It's about recognizing that done is better than perfect, and that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. Perfectionism often stems from a deep-seated fear of failure and judgment. It convinces you that if something isn't flawless, it's not worth doing at all. This mindset keeps you stuck in a cycle of endless preparation, hesitation, and self-criticism. You wait for the perfect circumstances, the perfect skills, or the perfect moment that never arrives. But the reality is, life is messy, unpredictable, and full of imperfections, and that's what makes it rich and meaningful. When you let go of perfectionism, you give yourself permission to be human. You allow yourself to make mistakes, to learn from them, and to grow. Progress, not perfection, becomes your guiding principle, freeing you from the paralyzing grip of unrealistic expectations. One practical way to embrace progress over perfection is to set good enough goals. Instead of aiming for an unattainable ideal, set realistic targets that allow for flexibility and adjustment. For example, if you're working on a project, set a deadline to complete the first draft rather than waiting until it's absolutely flawless. Or, if you're trying to establish a new habit, focus on consistency rather than perfection. Showing up most days is better than striving for a perfect streak and giving up when you miss a day. These good enough goals help you build momentum, reduce stress, and create a sense of accomplishment that fuels further action. You learn that progress is not about achieving perfection, but about moving forward, making adjustments, and continuously improving. Another powerful tool is to celebrate small wins along the way. Perfectionism often blinds you to the progress you're making because it focuses solely on what's missing or imperfect. By intentionally acknowledging your efforts, no matter how minor, you shift your focus from what you haven't done to what you have achieved. This positive reinforcement builds confidence and motivates you to keep going, even when the path is challenging. It also helps you develop a more compassionate relationship with yourself, recognizing that growth is a process, not a destination. Every small step you take is a testament to your commitment to move forward, imperfections and all. Ultimately, letting go of perfectionism is about redefining success on your own terms. It's about valuing the journey over the destination and appreciating the progress you make along the way. When you embrace progress, you open yourself up to new opportunities, experiences, and lessons that perfectionism would have kept you from pursuing. You begin to see that every imperfect action is a step towards something greater, and that each step brings you closer to the life you want to create. So let go of the need to be perfect. Embrace the beauty of progress and allow yourself the freedom to grow, evolve, and move forward without the weight of perfection holding you back. Stop comparing yourself to others and focus on your own path. Comparison is a thief of joy, and yet it's a habit that many of us can't seem to shake. We scroll through social media, glance at others' achievements, and measure our worth against curated snapshots of other people's lives. It's an easy trap to fall into, especially in a world where everyone's successes, milestones, and highlight reels are constantly on display. But what we often forget is that these comparisons are not only unfair, they are deeply misleading. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles to someone else's polished performance, your work in progress to someone else's finished masterpiece. This kind of thinking only fuels self-doubt, envy, and a perpetual sense of inadequacy. To truly let go of the past and move forward, you must learn to stop comparing yourself to others and focus instead on your own unique journey. Your path is yours alone, and no one else's story can define your worth or your potential. One of the most damaging effects of comparison is that it shifts your focus away from your own growth and onto someone else's timeline. You start to measure your progress by standards that don't apply to you, feeling behind when you're exactly where you need to be. The truth is, everyone's journey is different, shaped by their own experiences, choices, and circumstances that are often invisible to the outside world. What looks like overnight success is usually the result of years of hard work, failures, and setbacks that you're not privy to. By comparing yourself to others, you not only diminish your own achievements, but also rob yourself of the joy that comes from pursuing your own path at your own pace. Remember, the goal isn't to be better than anyone else, it's to be better than you were yesterday. To break the cycle of comparison, start by shifting your focus inward. Reflect on your own progress, your personal victories, and the obstacles you've overcome. Keep a journal of your achievements, big and small, and revisit it whenever you feel the pull of comparison. This practice helps you stay grounded in your own journey, reminding you that your path is valuable and worthy, even if it looks different from those around you. Celebrate your progress, acknowledge your growth, and be proud of how far you've come. When you focus on your own story, you begin to see that you are enough, just as you are, and that your worth isn't defined by how you stack up against anyone else. Another effective way to stop comparing is to curate your environment, both physically and digitally. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, who celebrate your wins and encourage your growth. Be mindful of the content you consume online. Unfollow accounts that trigger feelings of inadequacy, and seek out those that provide inspiration, education, or genuine joy. Create a space that supports your personal development, rather than one that constantly reminds you of what you think you lack. Remember, comparison often stems from insecurity, and by nurturing a positive environment, you can reduce its power over you. Ultimately, letting go of comparison is about reclaiming your narrative. It's about recognizing that your journey is uniquely yours, and that no one else's success diminishes your potential. When you stop comparing, you free up energy to invest in yourself, to learn, to grow, and to pursue your goals with confidence. You begin to see that your worth isn't dependent on external validation, but on your own sense of purpose and fulfillment. By focusing on your own path, you build a life that reflects your values, passions, and strengths, unburdened by the pressure to measure up to anyone else. So let go of the habit of comparison. Honor your unique journey and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. 10. Focus on your strengths and build on them. In a world that often magnifies our flaws and shortcomings, it's easy to lose sight of our strengths, the unique qualities, skills, and talents that make us who we are. We are constantly bombarded with messages about where we fall short, what we lack, and how we need to change to fit a certain mold. This relentless focus on our weaknesses can leave us feeling inadequate and stuck, reinforcing the narrative that we're not good enough. But to truly let go of the past and move forward, it's crucial to shift your focus from what you're not to who you are. Embrace your strengths, however big or small, and use them as the foundation upon which you build your future. Your strengths are not just gifts. They are tools that can help you overcome challenges, pursue your goals, and create a life that reflects your true potential. Focusing on your strengths doesn't mean ignoring areas where you can improve. It's about playing to your advantages and using what you naturally excel at as a springboard for growth. Often we get so caught up in trying to fix our perceived weaknesses that we overlook the immense power of doubling down on our strengths. Consider the times when you felt most confident, capable, and in the flow. Chances are you were leaning into your strengths, using your skills in a way that felt effortless and fulfilling. By identifying and embracing these moments, you can start to leverage your strengths more intentionally, applying them to new challenges and opportunities. This not only boosts your confidence but also accelerates your progress, allowing you to achieve more by doing what you do best. One practical way to hone in on your strengths is to take a personal inventory. Reflect on past successes, times when you overcame obstacles, and moments when you felt truly proud of yourself. What qualities or skills were you using in those instances? Were you tapping into your creativity, showing resilience, or demonstrating leadership? Write these down and think about how you can bring these strengths into other areas of your life. If you're great at problem solving, find ways to apply that skill to personal projects or challenges you're currently facing. If you have a talent for connecting with others, use it to build supportive relationships that can help you grow. The more you focus on what you're good at, the more you cultivate a mindset of empowerment rather than inadequacy. Another effective approach is to seek feedback from others who know you well. Friends, colleagues, or mentors who can offer insights into your strengths that you might not fully recognize. Often we are our own worst critics, blind to our talents because we take them for granted, or assume that everyone possesses the same abilities. Hearing from others can illuminate strengths you've overlooked and validate the qualities that set you apart. This outside perspective not only bolsters your self-awareness, but also reinforces the importance of playing to your strengths, rather than fixating on your weaknesses. Ultimately, focusing on your strengths is about embracing who you are and using your natural gifts to carve your own path forward. It's about building a life that feels aligned with your true self, rather than constantly striving to be someone you're not. When you focus on your strengths, you tap into a source of energy, motivation, and resilience that propels you forward, making setbacks feel more manageable and goals more attainable. You begin to see that you don't need to be perfect or excel in every area to succeed. You just need to be authentically you, leveraging what makes you unique. So let go of the need to fix every flaw and start celebrating your strengths. Use them as the foundation for your growth, and watch as they guide you toward a future that's not just about overcoming your past, but about thriving beyond it. 11. Practice gratitude and shift your focus to what you have. Gratitude is a simple yet profoundly powerful practice that can transform the way you perceive your past, present, and future. When you're caught up in regrets or longing for what could have been, it's easy to lose sight of the good that's right in front of you. You might dwell on what's missing, what went wrong, or what you wish you could change, all while overlooking the blessings, opportunities, and strengths that are already part of your life. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, creating a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. It's not about dismissing your struggles or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about recognizing the silver linings in your experiences, appreciating the progress you've made, and valuing the people and moments that bring joy to your life. Gratitude helps you to see your journey in a new light, allowing you to let go of past disappointments and move forward with a sense of contentment and hope. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is its ability to reframe your perspective on past events, including those that were difficult or painful. Often we look back at our struggles with a sense of bitterness or regret, wishing that things had unfolded differently. But by practicing gratitude, you can start to see how even the toughest times have contributed to your growth, resilience, and understanding of yourself. For example, a job loss that felt devastating at the time may have pushed you to pursue a new career path that aligns more closely with your passions. A failed relationship might have taught you valuable lessons about your needs and boundaries, setting the stage for healthier connections in the future. Gratitude allows you to find meaning in your experiences, transforming them from sources of pain into stepping stones that have shaped the person you've become. To cultivate gratitude, start with small daily practices that help you stay mindful of the positives in your life. One effective method is keeping a gratitude journal, where you jot down a few things you're thankful for each day. These don't have to be grand or life-changing. Often, it's the simple moments, a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, or the satisfaction of completing a task, that make the biggest difference. By consistently focusing on what you appreciate, you retrain your brain to look for the good, even in challenging situations. This shift in focus not only enhances your mood and outlook, but also builds resilience, making it easier to bounce back from setbacks because you're attuned to the positives that still exist. Another powerful way to practice gratitude is by expressing it to others. Take the time to thank the people who have supported you, taught you, or simply brightened your day. This could be through a heartfelt message, a small gesture, or a simple thank you that acknowledges their impact on your life. Expressing gratitude strengthens your connections with others, deepening your sense of community, and reminding you that you are not alone on your journey. It fosters a sense of belonging and reinforces the positive influence that relationships can have on your well-being. Ultimately, practicing gratitude is about shifting your focus from what you wish you could change to what you can cherish. It's a daily reminder that even amid challenges, there's always something to be thankful for. This mindset not only helps you to let go of the past, but also empowers you to face the future with a sense of optimism and purpose. By appreciating what you have, you create a solid foundation of inner peace and fulfillment that supports you in moving forward. Gratitude doesn't just change how you see the world, it changes how you experience your own life, making every step forward a little lighter, a little brighter, and a lot more meaningful. 12. Embrace patience and trust the timing of your journey. In a world that glorifies instant results and immediate gratification, it's easy to become impatient with your progress and frustrated by what feels like slow growth. We see others achieving their goals, hitting milestones, and seemingly having it all figured out, and we wonder why our own journey feels so delayed or difficult. But the truth is, every person's path is unique, and what often goes unseen are the years of effort, setbacks, and quiet persistence that lie behind those moments of success. To truly move forward and let go of the past, you must learn to embrace patience and trust the timing of your journey. This means understanding that progress isn't always linear, and that the setbacks, pauses, and detours along the way are not failures but essential parts of your growth. When you cultivate patience, you allow yourself the space to evolve at your own pace, without the pressure to compare, rush, or force things to happen before their time. Patience is not about passivity or inaction. It's about maintaining a steady commitment to your goals, even when the results aren't immediate or visible. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that every small step you take is bringing you closer to where you want to be, even if the destination isn't clear just yet. When you embrace patience, you free yourself from the constant anxiety of trying to control every aspect of your timeline. You stop measuring your progress against arbitrary deadlines and start appreciating the process of becoming. This shift in mindset helps you to stay grounded and focused, reducing the overwhelm that comes from feeling like you're always behind. Instead of rushing to the next milestone, you begin to see the value in the journey itself, the lessons learned, the resilience built, and the person you are becoming along the way. One practical way to cultivate patience is to set realistic expectations for your progress. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate each one as you achieve it. This approach not only keeps you motivated, but also reinforces the idea that success is a series of small wins, not a single monumental leap. By focusing on the next step rather than the entire journey, you can maintain your momentum without feeling daunted by how far you still have to go. Patience allows you to pace yourself, preventing burnout and keeping you engaged with your goals for the long haul. Remember, great things often take time, and the most meaningful achievements are rarely the result of overnight success. Another powerful way to embrace patience is to shift your focus from outcomes to effort. Rather than obsessing over how quickly you can achieve something, concentrate on the quality of your actions and the consistency of your efforts. Trust that the seeds you plant today will bear fruit in time, even if you can't see the results right away. This mindset helps you to stay present, committed, and motivated, knowing that every effort counts, even when progress feels slow. It also fosters a sense of self-compassion, allowing you to forgive yourself for perceived delays or missteps and to keep moving forward with grace and determination. Ultimately, embracing patience is about trusting that your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. It's about recognizing that every experience, every challenge, and every delay is a part of your personal evolution. When you let go of the need to rush, you open yourself up to a deeper, more fulfilling relationship with your own growth. You begin to see that the timing of your life is not something to fight against, but something to honor. Patience teaches you to be kind to yourself, to celebrate your progress, and to trust that you are on the right path, even when it doesn't look like you expected. By embracing patience, you cultivate a resilient mindset that empowers you to navigate your journey with confidence, knowing that the best things in life often come not when you demand them, but when you are truly ready to receive them. 13. Let go of guilt and embrace self-compassion. Guilt is a heavy burden that can anchor you to the past, trapping you in a cycle of self-blame and regret. It's the relentless voice that whispers, "You should have done better," or "You failed," keeping you locked in a state of emotional self-punishment. While feeling remorse for past actions is a natural human response, holding on to guilt indefinitely serves no constructive purpose. It only drags you down and prevents you from moving forward. To let go of the past, it's crucial to release the weight of guilt and replace it with self-compassion. Embracing self-compassion doesn't mean shirking responsibility for your actions. It means acknowledging your humanity, accepting your imperfections, and committing to growth without the constant self-condemnation. By being kind to yourself, you open the door to healing, learning, and ultimately, to the freedom that comes with forgiving yourself. Guilt often lingers when we hold ourselves to impossible standards, expecting perfection in situations where we were simply doing our best with the knowledge, resources, and emotional capacity we had at the time. We replay moments, dissecting every decision, and wishing we could rewrite our actions. But hindsight is always clearer, and it's easy to judge yourself harshly when you already know the outcome. The truth is, no one goes through life without making mistakes, and expecting flawless behavior from yourself is both unrealistic and unkind. Self-compassion involves recognizing that you are not alone in your errors. Everyone stumbles, and every misstep is an opportunity for growth. By shifting your perspective from self-punishment to self-understanding, you allow yourself to learn from your past rather than be defined by it. One practical way to start letting go of guilt is through the practice of self-forgiveness. Begin by acknowledging what happened, taking responsibility for your actions and expressing genuine remorse, not just to those you may have hurt, but also to yourself. Then, shift your focus to what you have learned from the experience and how it can guide your future behavior. This process isn't about absolving yourself without reflection. It's about recognizing that guilt, when left unchecked, does not lead to positive change. It leads to stagnation. Self-forgiveness allows you to accept your past without being weighed down by it, turning a painful experience into a catalyst for personal growth. It's a powerful step in breaking free from the grip of guilt and reclaiming your ability to move forward. Another effective approach is to speak to yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. Imagine a close friend confiding in you about their own feelings of guilt. You wouldn't berate them or insist that they should never forgive themselves. Instead, you would likely offer words of comfort, remind them of their inherent worth, and encourage them to see the bigger picture. Practice extending this same grace to yourself. Self-compassionate self-talk rewires the narrative of guilt, helping you to see your past actions within the broader context of your life journey. It reminds you that you are more than your mistakes, and that your worth is not diminished by your moments of imperfection. Ultimately, letting go of guilt is about embracing your humanity and allowing yourself the grace to evolve. It's about releasing the unrealistic expectations that keep you trapped in a cycle of regret and replacing them with a commitment to learning and self-improvement. By practicing self-compassion, you create a safe space within yourself where growth is possible. Mistakes are seen as part of the process, and guilt is transformed into wisdom. This shift not only frees you from the past, but also empowers you to approach the future with a renewed sense of self-worth and resilience. Let go of the guilt, forgive yourself, and embrace the compassionate, imperfect journey of being human. Release the need for approval and validate yourself. The need for approval is a deeply ingrained desire that can keep you tethered to the expectations and judgments of others, preventing you from fully embracing your own path. From a young age, many of us are conditioned to seek validation externally, through praise, recognition, or the acceptance of our peers and loved ones. We crave the reassurance that we are doing the right thing, making the right choices, or living up to the standards set by society. But when you place your self-worth in the hands of others, you give away your power, becoming a prisoner to their opinions and perceptions. This constant need for approval keeps you stuck, second-guessing your decisions, altering your behavior to fit in, and holding back from expressing your true self. To let go of the past and move forward, you must release the need for external validation and learn to validate yourself. Self-validation is about recognizing your own worth, trusting your inner voice, and making choices that align with your values, regardless of whether others understand or approve. The desire for approval often stems from a fear of rejection or judgment, driving us to conform and hide parts of ourselves that we fear won't be accepted. We worry about what others might think if we take a risk, voice an unpopular opinion, or pursue a path that diverges from the norm. This fear can be paralyzing, keeping us trapped in a loop of people-pleasing and self-doubt. But the reality is that no matter how hard you try, you can never please everyone. People's opinions are influenced by their own experiences, biases, and insecurities, and they often have little to do with your true character or capabilities. The moment you realize that you cannot control what others think, you begin to free yourself from the exhausting pursuit of approval and open up space for authentic self-expression. One powerful way to practice self-validation is to affirm your decisions and actions based on your own criteria, not those imposed by others. Before seeking input from others, pause and ask yourself, what do I think? What feels right for me? What aligns with my values? These questions help you to tap into your own wisdom and intuition, allowing you to make choices that reflect your true self rather than what you think others expect of you. Over time, this practice builds inner confidence as you learn to trust your judgment and stand by your decisions, even in the face of criticism or misunderstanding. Self-validation is not about shutting out feedback from others entirely. It's about prioritizing your voice in the chorus of opinions that surround you. Another essential aspect of letting go of the need for approval is embracing your imperfections and recognizing that your worth isn't contingent on external praise. Understand that you are inherently valuable, not because of your achievements, accolades, or the approval of others, but simply because you are you. Cultivate self-compassion and remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes, to be misunderstood, or to take a path that others might not understand. Your journey is your own, and the only validation that truly matters is the one you give yourself. Celebrate your strengths, acknowledge your efforts, and take pride in your growth, regardless of whether anyone else takes notice. Ultimately, releasing the need for approval is about reclaiming your power and living authentically, It's about giving yourself permission to be true to who you are, without the constant pressure to fit someone else's mold. When you validate yourself, you no longer need to chase the fleeting reassurance of others' praise. You carry your confidence from within. This shift liberates you from the constraints of external expectations, allowing you to move forward with a sense of freedom, self-assurance, and purpose. Embrace your own voice, trust your path, and let the only approval you seek be your own. 15. Embrace uncertainty and find strength in the unknown. Uncertainty is a natural part of life, yet it's something many of us struggle to accept. We crave security, predictability, and control, often clinging to the familiar even when it no longer serves us, because the alternative, the unknown, feels too risky, too frightening. But the truth is, the unknown is where growth happens. It's the space where new opportunities are born, where you discover what you're truly capable of, and where life's most meaningful moments unfold. To let go of the past and move forward, you must learn to embrace uncertainty and find strength in not having all the answers. This doesn't mean abandoning plans or living recklessly. It means developing the courage to step into the unknown with a mindset of curiosity rather than fear, trusting that you have the resilience to navigate whatever comes your way. One powerful way to cultivate comfort with uncertainty is to shift your mindset from one of fear to one of exploration. Instead of seeing the unknown as something to be avoided, view it as an adventure, an opportunity to learn, to experience new things, and to expand your horizons. This shift in perspective helps you to approach life's challenges with openness and flexibility, rather than clinging rigidly to what you know. Ask yourself, what might I discover if I allow myself to step into the unknown? What strengths could I uncover? What new opportunities could I create? By focusing on the potential for growth, you transform uncertainty from a source of anxiety into a catalyst for personal evolution. Another key to embracing uncertainty is to develop a strong sense of self-trust. Often our fear of the unknown is rooted in a lack of confidence in our ability to handle whatever comes next. But you are more resilient than you realize. Think back to times when you faced unexpected challenges and found a way through. Those experiences have equipped you with skills, insights, and inner strength that you can draw upon in the future. Trusting yourself means believing that you can navigate the twists and turns of life, even when the path ahead is unclear. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you have the capacity to adapt, to learn, and to keep moving forward. Ultimately, embracing uncertainty is about letting go of the need for complete control and finding peace in the unpredictability of life. It's about accepting that not knowing is a natural part of the human experience, and that true strength comes not from avoiding uncertainty but from facing it with courage and curiosity. When you stop resisting the unknown, you open yourself up to new possibilities, new directions, and new ways of being that you might never have imagined. You begin to see that life's greatest gifts often come wrapped in uncertainty, waiting for you to step forward and unwrap them. So let go of the need to have it all figured out, and embrace the beauty of the unknown. In that space of uncertainty lies the potential for your greatest growth. Remember where we began, that invisible weight of the past, the overthinking, and the doubts that kept you stuck. You stood at the edge of your own transformation, questioning your next step. Now you've journeyed through powerful lessons, uncovering the tools to reclaim your mind, your choices, and your future. But this isn't just a moment to close a book and move on. This is your call to action. The insights you've gained are not just ideas, they are the keys to your freedom. Take the first step today, no matter how small, toward letting go of the past and embracing the present. As you put this book down, ask yourself, what story are you living? And more importantly, is it the one you truly want? You've seen the path forward, and now it's up to you to walk it. The power to change is in your hands. The world won't change until you do. Imagine a future where every challenge is an opportunity, where fear becomes fuel, and where you are the master of your fate. That life is within reach, but it's not a gift. It's a choice. Life's greatest lessons aren't found in successes or failures, but in how we choose to perceive and respond to them. You hold the chisel of your own mind, and the masterpiece you create is entirely up to you. This book may end, But your journey is just beginning. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep striving for mastery. Reflect on your journey and the lessons learned. What has this book revealed about you? And what will you do with that knowledge? The path to transformation is ongoing, and it's yours to navigate with courage, curiosity, and conviction. Don't let this moment slip by. Take what you've learned and use it to shape your story, because the future is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. So ask yourself, what kind of future will you build with the power of your mind? The journey ahead is yours, and it's one worth embracing with everything you've got.